Clear Shots number 44 is brought to you by Pinecast. Pinecast.com is an easy-to-use podcast hosting site that lets you post your show to the leading podcast platforms, including Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and more. Sign up for Pinecast today using the promo code R-63F8FB to get 40% off your first 4 months. If you have a podcast or are thinking about starting a podcast, there's no better place to do it than Pinecast.com. We just added all of the sites on our official website that you can find the podcast on. So you just go to our page, and there's a whole bunch of links at the top for every platform that we're listed on, and there's even more than that, and it's all from Pinecast.com. Again, visit Pinecast.com and use the code R-63F8FB to get 40% off your first 4 months. Today on the show, we had Mark, and we did probably 3 hours, I would say, a little bit over 3 hours. So I'm going to let you guys hop right into this thing and enjoy.
That actually sounded pretty good.
Did it?
It's like
Zippo?
a director.
How much are Zippos nowadays?
This one was, this is the basic one. No logos, nothing. It was still like $20, $25.
That's, and then how much is a refill?
I don't think it's that
See,
expensive.
that's the thing is, like, I feel like most people buy...
for fuel, maybe.
I feel like most people buy Zippos and then they don't refill them because they don't know like where to go.
Yeah,
I have a drawer of dead Zippos
Yeah.
that just exist eternally.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
like I didn't use this for like 6 months, and then I ended up getting a bottle of fuel from a coworker.
I had like one of the smaller ones, and I don't know where it went because I never filled it, and then it just disappeared into infinity.
Don't ever buy another one. I'll give you one.
Yeah, I'll peruse the collection. I'll trade you some fancy state quarters.
Yeah.
I have all that shit. I don't need the steak orders.
Oh.
What do you got better to trade? I got a Raiders Zippo.
Really?
Yeah.
You got
Damn.
You got a Vape Nation?
You got a
Zippo?
Vape Nation Zippo?
No, I wish.
Do you have a MAGA one?
No. No.
they probably have those.
Guaranteed.
Made in
Guaranteed.
Korea.
Make vaping great again.
Make Vape Nation great again.
This is gonna be a vape. This is gonna be a vape full episode. I feel like.
Do you guys remember the first when vapes first came out? They were just those shitty little pens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
I had those. I had every single one.
I had the Voodoo. I had like 2 or 3 of those because like they broke.
Well, they were disposable ones too at first. Like the ones at first, they were like a battery, and then you'd put like a little cartridge on them.
Yeah, like the blue e-cigs.
Yeah, like I used to use the Logic peach one, and it was so fucking good. But it would only last you like 3 days, and then you'd have to go buy a new one for like $8 or something. Which, I mean, I guess that's not that bad, but...
No. It's funny when you see people using those still. It's very funny. It's like, you're... Why? It's like people that...
It's like these...
It's like purposefully using dial-up.
Yeah.
Like,
because
you
the
don't see
retro feel.
Yeah.
When you go and look for a vape, like a full like starter kit now...
It's intimidating.
It kind of is, but they're also not that expensive, like, at all. Like, you would probably pay the same amount for the fucking blue as you would for like a starter kit from like fucking E-Leaf or some shit.
Yeah. I know, I remember getting the Kanger that was in that video, the K-Box Mini.
Mm-hmm.
That was like my first that was my first vape that wasn't like a pen.
K-Box isn't that old either.
No, that came out
Couple
after
years.
I dropped out of college. So like 3 years ago. And it was only like $50.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I gave it to Sean after I got the what did I get? I got the Smock 2. Alien Smock 2. I think that's what it was.
I like I like this one. This is just this. It's a smock, but I don't know that I like the tanks as much.
No, I had the Baby Beast, and it.
Yeah.
The coils, even though they were I got the ceramic.
The coils aren't great.
It didn't last long.
I bought some E-Leaf coils that are compatible with this tank, so I'm like, well, that should solve the problem because I don't think it's the tank itself. I think it's just the coils,
Right,
that are not great.
Yeah, my dad buys all of that on Amazon, so he gets knockoff everything.
Yeah,
pretty much
I buy
batteries.
from like My Vapor Store or Element Vape or something, somewhere that's like at least somewhat reputable, and they'll send you. I mean, a lot of shit now, like they'll have like a QR code you can go to their site and just scan to make sure it's fucking not bullshit.
Yeah, that's not how my dad works.
Yeah,
and he's still working off like the old Atlantis.
Oh yeah,
the Aspire giant staff.
Yeah, those are classic.
He loves it. He buys them for like the whole package for $20 each. There's like 50 of them.
I think the first one I had with like a actual atomizer was the Kanger. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was a straight. Oh, it's over there somewhere, I think. Oh, maybe not. Fuck, maybe
that one there.
Out. That one is
That's an E-Leaf, right? Eye stick.
I don't know, but it's a stick. And those things are fucking so awkward.
Yeah.
Because, like, you have to hold them like this, but, like, the button's on the side, too. So, like, it was like you had to, like, push it with your thumb or some shit. Like,
right.
It was kind of a weird way to hold it. And now the last one I had a button on the side, but this actually is like a bar. So you just kind of squeeze it.
That's what mine was. You squeeze it.
Yeah, those are way better.
I like that it kept track of how many times you puffed on it. I thought that was funny.
That's all that matters.
It was like 3 million.
If it doesn't have a puff counter, it's not worth it.
Yeah. No. I got the Smock Alien V2 like right when it came out, and it was like $120, and I was like, fuck yeah. And then maybe 7 or 8 months later, I ended up cross-threading the tank and the mod.
Yeah.
And it's done. It's like completely smooth. There's no fixing that. I don't even know where it is. I have no idea where it is.
I just don't get why anybody needs a puff counter, really.
Gambling.
I guess it's just gambling, yeah.
It's all gambling, man. Because none of us really gamble, so it's got to be that.
Right.
Otherwise, we know.
What are you gambling on? Who gets the most vapes by a certain day? Get a certain number? It's just randomized?
It's just gambling.
Yeah, it's just gamble, man. I put $5 on Jake.
You got to do 500 today.
I feel like you accidentally hit the fire button at least once a day, so like that ups your number right there.
Yeah, you're gonna have a standard deviation.
My bet would be that you have at least one above the number of times you've actually hit it.
Yeah,
and I'd win every time.
It's Seth's law. Seth's law. Puff counters are always at least one puff off.
Yeah,
that's a pretty low standard deviation. That's not bad though.
Yeah, I would say plus at least
one.
It's
a safe estimate. It's at least one. Like it's got to be. It's almost a guarantee that you're gonna be one.
Well, my old one, like I couldn't lock. Like this has a lock and a power off. So like with that old one that I used, you'd have to power it off and then to lock it and then power it back on, and it would reset your counter. This doesn't. Like it'll just lock and it'll keep the counter. But I don't even care about the puff counters because I don't know why you would care.
What is your puff count
what is
now?
I have no fucking idea. I don't even know how to check it. I really don't.
Your
know how
puffs
to check
go unchecked.
They really do.
It's dangerous.
What is that? It says already. Wait. It says already 11,043 max puffs, and then you can change it. Oh, you can set the max puffs
For a day? Like, or is it a week?
I guess.
How many
It
thousand?
probably shuts off after the max puffs.
10,000 puffs a day.
I'm trying to find out how many it goes to.
I need another.
It's a limiter, basically, is what it is.
Yeah, but you're in control of the limiter, so it's not really like it's.
But it's for like
it's more
the
of
kids.
a discipline thing.
This is gonna
it's
go
for the
a
kids.
while.
When you give your kids their first vape, you can set it so you
like
know.
A V-chip.
Back when we were kids, you only had so many like texts, hours you could talk.
That's true. That's
now
true.
it's vapes. These poor
odd.
kids. Vape Nation.
Yeah, it's like parental controls on the TV.
Perfect.
It goes up to 999 puffs.
A day. That's a lot.
And then it stops you from being able to vape.
Has it ever stopped you before?
Oh, you have to manually go in and reset the puffs.
Oh.
That's dangerous. I guess I can see why people would use it. Maybe they're just trying to, like, stop vaping. It's the only way. I read a thing on fucking Reddit about a dude who's, like, basically just... He worked his way down to 0 milligram and then was like, well, I'm not getting anything from this anymore, so I'm done. Like, and he had quit smoking to vape and then quit vaping. So now he's doing nothing, which is good.
Yeah.
I mean, basically that's the idea.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I quit smoking to vape and then quit vaping to smoke.
I
Yeah.
did that too.
Yeah. Now I do a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I like the feel.
I think the best idea is to start vaping and then
Start
smoking.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing with the
got-
Juuls.
Yeah,
They're just getting the kids ready.
Exactly.
Pack a day.
So they can graduate to smoking. That's the key.
Yeah, it's almost like
Graduating to smoking.
yeah, you had it perfect. I didn't even have to come up I didn't have to come up with another. I didn't.
It's like going to the next level
It's like
of smoking.
perk points. Once you get 6, you can smoke menthols.
What do you have to start with? If you smoke, what's the first cigarette you ever smoked? Was it a Marb Red? Because that's what mine was. That's the first pack I ever bought too.
I have no fucking idea.
like
I
15.
would not be able to tell you that.
Yeah. Marb Red 100s.
It was
And they
either
were
that or
unfiltered.
it was
Really?
Yeah, that was
You
gross.
old fuck.
It was gross.
I feel like it was either those or Camel Crush.
I like.
I used to smoke those fucking Jarum Black.
I just bought a pack of those the other day. They suck. I bought them for nostalgia purposes, and they burn way too long. And then by the end of it, your whole face is numb.
I used to just smoke half of it.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
I would just smoke half of it and clip it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because you can't go the whole thing. You're going to probably pass out
Oh, for sure.
if you're actually smoking like a cigarette.
I was trying to think. What's the?
It's basically it's like a baby cigar. Is what
Yeah.
it is. It's a cigar for babies.
Well, it's a cigarillo.
Yeah.
So
My Discord thing is blowing up, but
amazing. No, I was.
Hey, yo.
What was it? I like Lucky Strikes. You can only get them at Smoker's Choice, and those are really nice because the tobacco is toasted instead of dried, and it tastes so good. It tastes so good,
yeah.
but they're expensive and they're non-filtered, so you reek after just one.
Yeah. I kind of like. I feel like we should get a cigar and just do work. You know what I mean? We'd have to like. It's like a teamwork thing, though. You know, you can't have
Cigars.
one. Yeah. And I haven't thrown up in a while, so I think cigars about the right thing.
That's the best way to tee it off.
Yeah.
I think somebody's.
Oh, it's Rocky. Here, Rocky, do you want some watermelon?
Hey, boy, you want some booze?
Somebody's here.
Ha, ha, ha.
We have another guest.
What do you got to say on this?
I don't have another mic, so
He's just like, I can't see.
this is a cry for help.
What is he trying to do?
I'm strangling it.
This is the first time Rocky's been up here, I think.
Yeah, this is his first appearance on the podcast, I think.
Yep, so we have 2 brand new guests today.
God damn. This is a great day for
Rocky,
us.
come here. Come here.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know what's going on. You got to watch the video podcast to get the full effect of this.
You do, yeah. No, tune in.
Tune in live.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I love when I'll be smoking. Like yesterday this happened. And I smoke menthols almost exclusively. So I'm at the cookout yesterday and somebody's like, can I get a cigarette? I go, it's a menthol. Ugh. I'm like, you're a smoker too. What do you mean?
I still say no.
You don't
I
like
say-
menthols?
No,
Why?
I can't do it.
Is it
I
because
just
it
can't.
tastes too good?
Probably. I have to lower my standards, like, to my level.
You
to enjoy
smoke
the
spirits though, right?
Yeah.
I
Yep.
like spirits.
Blue spirits. Yeah, those are good. But the Like the crush, people will be like, "Oh no, just don't crush it." I'm
No,
like,
you
Well,
still.
what's the point?
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it. Like, literally, that's...
because they're saving me from the menthol, and I'm like, "Nah, I don't want the menthol. You keep it." Like, no.
Yeah, but it's the thrill of the situation, of the change.
Like there's a cyanide pill in my mouth, and I'm
Yeah.
waiting to pop it. That's what the menthol is. And I'm gonna inhale this deathly, like, toothpaste bullshit.
Have you ever smoked the black American spirits?
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
I've smoked everything of theirs.
Perique blend.
I don't do the menthol. I'll do the blacks, the yellows, the organics.
Are they all organic?
No,
No.
only certain. They have a select few brands, like a regular light. I'm a cigarette connoisseur.
I don't know. I guess I don't smoke enough cigarettes to care much about whether it's menthol or not.
Right. That's good. That's the best way, because you
Yeah.
really shouldn't care about smoking.
That's true.
You should just smoke.
I heard it's not that great for you.
No, it's not.
I don't know who said that, but somebody
Someone
mentioned.
once.
Somebody brought it up.
I mean, I always get the articles.
Wasn't it
posted
Tim
in-
Robbins? And
Is that
he
what it
did
was?
that documentary.
I thought it was Rob Reiner.
The Insider.
Al Gore. The Insider.
Isn't that the movie
Yeah.
where he exposes Newport?
Yeah.
Is that a movie?
Yeah, he works for a cigarette company, and he finds out that they've known cigarettes have been bad for people since they were invented, and
Huh.
they've been covering it up. So he releases all the
Well,
information,
no shit.
and they go after him. They ruin his life, threaten his wife. With a
Yeah.
knife.
It's funny, like, looking at
Like
those old
Cloud
fucking
Strife.
ads where, like, they think it was good for you and shit.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Physicians
that bad.
recommended cigarettes.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
think
perfect.
like my thing with smoking is that like my grandpa Jennings and my grandpa Carson were both extremely healthy when they were younger. Grandpa Jennings he didn't smoke, he barely drank, he worked out all the time, and he still ended up with dementia. And he
Yeah.
was like 70, whatever.
Did
And
they
so I'm
think
like-
it was good for you, or did they just not think it was bad for you?
Both.
I think they thought it because
They
they
didn't
used
care.
to prescribe people. I saw an old advertisement, like it was this thread on 4chan today, and it was like old advertisements, and there was one advertised for kids that were teething, and they were literally gummy bears with Coke in them. Like you would use Coke for infants and toddlers.
I mean, your grandparents didn't give you a little bit of whiskey, a little nip?
My
when you were teething?
mom did. I found that out from my brother.
Everyone
He was
did.
telling us stories about that. But yeah, no, they did the whiskey on the gums.
That's how it was back in the day.
Just throw the bottle at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're knocked out, you can't really feel your teeth coming
Yeah,
in.
exactly. It's a good.
And if they knock your teeth out, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, and then you can just start smoking right away.
Right.
Because I think back then it was like, you didn't have to be 18 to get cigarettes. You just had to have one tooth
Yeah.
or have one removed.
Yeah, that's true.
Depending on the county.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the less teeth you have, the more the smoke can freely move about the inside of your mouth. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they already knew about scurvy, so they probably were drinking orange juice and smoking. So they get rid of all the toxins in the gums.
Yeah.
The smoke kills anything in your lungs, so
Yeah.
it's actually healthy.
Yeah. It suffocates the bacteria.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why do you think I'm so healthy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, by that logic, you could just smoke anything, and it would do the same thing. But instead, let's smoke tar and
It's like fucking huffing acetone.
here we go again.
It's actually
Is
not
this,
that bad.
is this mine?
You can
Should I
have either
try?
that one or the watermelon one. But
What would you prefer? Grape?
I don't even think he's gonna have one.
I don't care which one.
I'll switch to watermelon if you don't mind.
This looks less destructive because it's less dark. I feel like the darker a drink is, the worse it is for you.
Yeah, that's why water is great, and that's why you shouldn't
Yeah.
drink water that's dark because
That's
that
why I
means
put-
it's got animals in it and dead bodies
Yeah.
and sand.
That's why I put food coloring in my water so that it makes it look more unhealthy.
It tricks your body into
Yeah.
working harder to burn off the calories,
Exactly.
lower your cholesterol. You know, man. Cheers to the bootlegger. Thanks for coming on, Mark.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I guess I should do this then.
There's no alcohol.
Doesn't taste like it, does it?
Mm-mm.
Actually, 12%.
12%.
All right.
Grape shot.
So I don't think... we didn't do an introduction, but we've had Aaron on twice now. You're his older brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's the introduction.
All said and done.
That was easy.
That's that. Wrap it up.
We've been knowing you two for years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yes.
Remember when you guys were little shits running around? Oh, God. The Wes's house.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was fun.
Eating all the Pop-Tarts.
I was never a part of that.
I mean, that was one of those places where, like, it was weird because it was like parties, but it was always people like that we knew. Like it wasn't like a fucking out of control house party like all the time.
Yeah. It was like I was talking about it to somebody, maybe. I
think we were just talking about it with Paul.
Yeah, about how it was
the other day.
It was all like the not the outcast, but it was all the kids that, you know, they didn't have a specific group,
Right.
but everybody had at least one thing in common with each other.
Yeah.
And that we all branched out. And it's really funny because I bet you could take the people that used to go to those parties all the time and put us all in a building again, and it would be the same thing. Everybody still gets along.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
I can name one.
Yeah, it was weird because it kind of
like
it bridged some weird demographics too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a weird way. Most of us listen to metal though.
Yeah, that was the big one. Metal and video
that was
games
like the
for
connection.
sure.
Yep. I was gonna say now it seems the video games keep us together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess, but they also cause people to shoot up a place in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Dude, my brother that's up is from Jacksonville, and he was talking to me about it, how they go to that place all the time. He's like, that's crazy, because they go there.
Wasn't that over Madden?
Yeah.
Just
the dude was fucking insane. They're releasing more and more information about him. He was on like SSRIs, and they stopped taking them. He bought a gun illegally in Maryland. He beat the shit out of his mom, or threatened to beat the shit out of his mom because she took his Xbox away one day. Just, you know.
Dude, this is the kind of shit though, like, that guy shouldn't have a gun. Like,
Exactly.
plain and fucking simple.
And he was in Baltimore, Maryland, where they have
Right.
some of the strictest gun laws, and people are like,
It's so easy to just go and buy a gun.
it's
Yeah.
like, it is when people aren't doing their fucking job right, you know?
Yeah. It's like we get into a point, like, you get to a point where people keep going, oh, there's a mental health problem. Well, no shit. But, like, what do you do about it? It's like, yeah, there is a mental health. Clearly there is. Because these people that are shooting people have mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're just drawing that out in thin air.
No.
And I love when I found a subreddit today that I could only stand to be on for like a half hour, but it was called Stupid Shit Americans Say. And it had like 200,000 subscribers.
Sounds great.
And I was like, this might be kind of funny. And it was like, it was just a hate group. It was like, it'd be an American saying something. And obviously, I guess if I had to say one thing, is that
Please do.
America, okay, the U.S., continental U.S. is fucking ginormous. Each state is basically its own country. So it makes sense for a lot of us to be ignorant about the world around us. Because we have Canada and we have Mexico. That's it. There's oceans between everybody else. And we're more worried about the rest of the states. And the place is fucking huge.
I feel like
And it's funny that a
United
lot of
States
people
just doesn't pay attention to anything else besides the United States.
Well, it's hard to.
Well,
because-
the United States is already pretty fucking big, but in comparison to other things like Asia and Europe, just in
we were
general,
talking about it with Paul, about how
it's fucking not.
to an American, 100 years is a long time, but to a European, 100 miles is a long drive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I will say, when I went to Germany and Belgium, it was just a hop, skip, and you're in another
Isn't that
country.
fucking nuts?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the
it's
thing.
fun, though.
That's crazy to me, dude.
Yeah, that's what's crazy.
And
I don't think I don't know if I'd like it or not. Like, I kind of like the idea that we're all similar, like all the states are similar. There's differences, like legally and shit, like as far as laws go. But I kind of like the idea that it's almost like separate countries, but under the same umbrella sort of thing.
I like being an American, man. And it really upsets me because I think a lot of people don't like it. And I think they're missing out on something that might be changing.
Well, what's weird is that there's differences between states as far as culturally too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's differences between
Huge.
counties.
Yeah, like
Huge
it's
differences.
surprisingly different. Like you would think it was another country sometimes.
Yeah, my brother was telling me about how in Florida they don't recycle. So we're hanging out and I
Yeah, it's too humid. It's too humid to recycle.
That's too much
They're
work.
fucking
Yeah.
sweating
Well,
and shit.
we're sitting in the kitchen having a beer, and I put
Fuck
all the
that.
beer in the cooler, and I had the box, and I look at him, I'm like, where's the recycling go? He goes, what? I go,
It's all
"Where's
the way over
recycling
there,
go?"
dude.
He
I
goes,
ain't
I don't
going
know.
on.
It's one of those. And I open it up, and it's just both of them are just garbage, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put this one in there because it looks like it has cans in it already.
Is it that they don't have recycling, or they're too lazy to recycle?
Fuck you, Frank. You gotta save the fucking planet, dude. I know you're listening right now.
It's not his fault. It's corporations that pollute the planet.
Yeah. No, they don't get money back for recycling cans.
Okay.
So I think they could, but there's no incentive to.
Take all the cans from down there and
Dude,
bring
think,
them up here.
Yeah, think about it.
That's
Think about it.
illegal.
Yeah,
Is it
I guess it probably
That's
is.
quite an offense, actually. I think.
taking empty cans from
Yeah.
Florida to
With from
That's
like
so
a non.
weird.
Yep.
That's so weird.
Wait,
And we have a fucking. Like,
is that why
law
the
against
cans
that.
will say like New York 5 cents?
Yeah. And then they should put a clause that says, "Fuck you! Don't bring it anywhere else and deposit it
Right.
if it's not one of those states."
You're like going from New York to like Pennsylvania and you're drinking a Coca-Cola. You get to a checkpoint, they look and they grab the can. They're like, "You're coming with us."
What the fuck is this shit?
You're
You trying to put one over on us?
I got you, motherfucker.
What do you think you're doing?
Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back, sir.
Yeah.
This is a whole 5 cents here, son. It's a nickel.
You're not stealing from Lady Liberty today, punk. You think you're slick?
It's weird too because like a lot of this country's like packed into certain parts of the country too. Like
Mhm.
there's parts of the country that are just barren, like just open land with jack shit.
Like
The middle of the country
the
is
Midwest.
it's fucked. But then there's like New York City and fucking LA that are just jam packed with people.
Yeah,
Yep.
I wish New York City was like its own thing. I think it's very strange. I was talking to somebody at the bar about this actually. About it was those Canadian dudes I was talking about how New York City has a lot of the not most of the population. Is that most of the population of New York?
Majority.
I would say so.
at least
Yeah,
in the New York City and the surrounding area is the majority of New York.
I would say it's
So,
a
like,
really good portion of New York.
A lot of the laws and a lot of stuff like that and anything political is like basically if you live outside of New York City, you still have to adhere by what they want.
Mhm.
It should be like what's the city in China? Is it Hong Kong? That's its own thing.
Beijing.
Beijing.
Yeah,
It's its own thing because it's so fucking densely populated.
China is fucking dense in general.
Dude,
though.
China's crazy. I'd love to go there. I really would.
I feel like they live so vertically. Like everything is packed on top of like it's all high
okay.
rises
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shit.
I thought you meant like they're
Yep.
all skateboarding and stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Thrash
They all have
out.
vert ramps. They all have half pipes. They don't have pipes.
Rad China.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
they all
like
fucking
that.
doing this and shit.
Suckers.
It's like their universal symbol.
Like rocket power is still going strong in China right
Yeah.
now.
They're 20 years behind. Rocket power's just hitting.
Wiggity 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 wiggity.
Fuck that.
Fucking knee. Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, Rocky is still here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just hanging out.
It's chilling.
He just wants to
Very
listen
nice.
in.
Yeah, he's having a good time.
Zero awareness of the surroundings.
Rocky. His ears fluttered and then he turned away. But yeah, man.
I think we should just take a giant saw and saw Manhattan. Like
Okay,
saw.
I
like,
thought we were talking about Rocky.
I was like, the poor bastard.
I don't know if we'd need a giant saw for him though. He's
It'd
not
be
that big.
it'd be comical. It'd be like
Yeah.
Itchy and Scratchy from The Simpsons.
Yeah,
The poor dog.
just saw Manhattan off from the rest of the country. Let it float out in the fucking.
That was a video game prototype where the infection in the game that was turning everybody into monsters was just in New York City. So they just completely quarantined it and just blockaded it with like the
Yeah.
Navy and shit. That's what they should do.
That was a good game. I like
Yeah,
that.
was
that
fun,
game's
yeah.
fucking
I love
sweet.
that.
Dude,
I
that
used to
game was
just throw the
brutal.
long ass arm.
The whip arm.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
just throw it around in circles and cut everybody in half.
I loved doing the going into the military like warehouses and just trying to kill everybody with the stealth disguise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you would just go up and like you'd somehow rip their throat off with like your pinky. you just and then you become them and then you just go all the way through, killing like 30.
Even though you jump like 7 miles into the air.
Yeah, they'd be
That's
like,
normal.
Everybody's
they'd be like,
like,
oh,
okay.
man. They're like, oh man, Brian must be really working on his glutes today. Hey, bye.
Took his vitamins.
You did not skip leg day.
Yeah, those games were sweet. I played a bit of the second one, but
I don't think I did.
they got rid of a lot of the powers. They got rid of the armor. The armor was my favorite
Yeah.
power.
Yeah,
you looked
yeah.
like such a fucking badass.
I loved the claw that you could slam into the ground and then it would shoot up
Yeah.
and fucking
Oh,
impale people.
That was best.
I remember when that came out and then Infamous came out, and that was a huge debate in like middle school was which was better, Infamous or Prototype. I was team Prototype.
I never played Infamous.
Infamous is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It was because it's a superhero game, but it's a hero or no, it's a
It's an
superhero
anti-hero.
game, but you can also be the supervillain.
It's an anti-hero game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was cool because the karma system they did was right. I don't like Fallout's karma system.
It's funny because we were just talking about karma systems.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, we were.
Like Paul was talking about how GTA should have like a
Yeah.
good and evil sort of vibe thing.
Yeah, because they tried doing that with like the good sport, bad sport thing, but it didn't work out. But I remember Infamous, you had incentives to either be really good or really evil, because if you were evil, your powers were fucking mental. Like you would have this shockwave that would hit people and they'd fly in the air and stay like static in the air, and then if you hit them with a lightning bolt, they'd all fucking explode and chain together.
I think the problem is they don't balance good and evil. Like they
Right.
make the evil powers way more jacked up.
Yeah, we were talking about it a long time ago, but
But I feel like the good guys always win. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
even though the bad guys are the stronger ones,
They're overpowered.
it's always
but
the
good,
case.
yeah.
Good always prevails somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
That gets old.
It just it does.
I would love it. That's why when episode 9 for Star Wars comes out, I'd love it for just the Sith to win. Make
Yeah.
everybody mad.
I know. I wish more things would have
The bad
the
guy
bad
win.
guys win.
Like the only movie I can think of off the top of my head where that happens is Watchmen.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
But are you taking
was-
him as a villain? Or
That's the
an
thing
I
is,
think
like-
I think you're supposed to take him as the villain. That's what they try and do. But
Yeah,
when
but
you
by
watch
the-
it multiple times,
but by
you
the end,
realize
you're
that
kinda
he's-
like-
he's right.
Yeah, by the end, it's kind of blurred a little bit.
Even Dr. Manhattan is like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
It takes off and it goes along with the plan, according to the movie. I mean, the graphic
haven't-
novel's a little different.
yeah, I
but-
haven't.
The movie is
That's
way
good.
too good, though. That is a
movie
movie
is.
that, like,
It's
if that
long-
came
it's
out,
long as fuck.
oh yeah, especially when you get the Ultimate Sith edition.
Yes.
it's like
The Ultimate
fucking 3
Sith.
hours and 50 minutes, dude.
It's great.
It's so good.
It's got a bunch of extended fucking scenes and shit. Like
Yeah,
cut.
the animated scenes.
Yeah, They would
But,
like give you the background of each character and shit. I think.
Yeah, I think Watchmen missed the mark because if that came out today, it'd be nuts. Dude.
Oh,
That would
yeah.
be so
'Cause
huge.
They're so big.
It'd be
superhero
such a
movies.
gritty.
Yeah.
It's such a gritty fucking like no
was-
nonsense. It shows the dark side of the heroes.
But I almost like that it came out when it did, before they got big.
So
I
that
kinda
way it
like
wouldn't
that
be
it was under the
glamorized.
radar.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
like the idea that it was under the radar.
Because no one seemed to know what Watchmen was really. Well, a lot of comic fans were, but a lot of
Right.
the big, it wasn't really in the talk.
Exactly. And then when it was as good as it was, people were surprised.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool. I like the idea of taking something that's unknown and just making it fucking jacked as
Yeah.
fuck.
That's
Yeah.
why I want a Sentry movie, dude.
That would
Sentry
be
is my
cool.
favorite Marvel hero of all time.
I don't know enough about comic
He's
books.
like I can't remember his origin. He was like a researcher, and it was him and his wife, and they were trying to do like make a portal to hell or create a black hole. They were trying to do something fucking completely never been done before. They ended up succeeding, but his wife died from whatever they were exposed to, and he survived. And he ended up
Yeah.
getting these like reality warping Superman powers.
She's allergic to portals.
Yeah, it's too humid, dude. And
She's like,
He's
I
like-
forgot to tell you, I'm allergic to portals. Oh shit, we just spent years building fucking portals.
But he ended up. I was wondering why you looked really bloated this whole time.
It's the cancer.
Yeah, you were clamming up and wheezing every morning, coughing up blood. But no, he's really cool. He's sort of like Superman, but he can warp reality a little bit. But he can actually, it's not like ethereal, but he can like go to a different dimension, and all of a sudden his powers are unhinged. But the problem is when he channels like the void or whatever, he's like the Hulk. He loses all control.
Yeah.
But he just fucks shit up all the time. But I think he's going to be the next Deadpool. Because not a lot of people knew who Deadpool was.
Right. Yeah.
That's
And
true.
Deadpool came out, and he's everybody's favorite hero now. And I think
Deadpool was the comic book was obviously a comedy then. I would
it was making fun
Yeah.
of Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes
Deathstroke
sense.
was a bit like overboard. Gore
I remember
and stuff.
him
Yeah.
because I remember seeing. I never like read any of the comics, but I remember seeing him and I was like, oh shit, that's a badass fucking character.
Yeah, dude, he's a cool fucking character. And I love how meta he is. It's free online, but it's the comic where he kills or it's Deadpool kills the universe or something.
Yeah. Yep.
It's pretty fucking hilarious because he can't die. And I don't know, I haven't seen the second Deadpool movie, but in the comics, when he dies, he goes to hell, and then they bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
Because he like sold his soul to Satan or something.
I
It's
didn't know
like
you could
well,
do
he's in love with death.
It's like Ghost.
that's
It's like
what it is.
Ghost
Yeah.
Rider.
Yep.
It's basically
Less-
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider's one oh wait, no. Go on.
Less Nicolas Cage.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the downfall.
Dude, 8mm is a great movie.
Matchstick Man. He was in that. That was good.
Yeah.
The rest of it,
I didn't. Ghost Rider seemed so fucking corny. Like
it was bad.
I was just like, why? I don't understand this. Like, why is he on a motorcycle? First of all,
When I was a kid, I kept confusing it with Mr. Grimm from the Twisted Metal games.
yeah,
I was
could
like,
see
I've
that,
never heard of
yeah.
this guy.
yeah. But the Sam Elliott was in that movie, so it saved it. Like it saved,
Yeah, he
just
really
because
did.
he's amazing.
I do need to watch Tombstone again.
Yep. No.
He's fucking dude. I kind
No.
of like the only reason I drink.
No!
The only drink I the only reason I ever drink Coors is because he was in those fucking commercials.
Dilly.
Plus the mountains turn
Dawe,
blue.
Dawe.
So the
Dawe,
mountains
Dawe.
need to turn blue on more beers. That's the problem with the market right now.
My Yingling's not turning an Indian.
It doesn't turn blue.
Is that a 24-ouncer? That looks like a peace tea.
Yeah, it's
1
8
pint,
fluid
1.5.
ounces.
There you go.
It's probably not as cheap as a peace tea.
It's only $2.
It's not bad at all.
It's double the price of a peace tea.
But it's at least double the alcohol content.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yingling is good. We actually was talking to a guy I work with. He was talking about this beer. He liked Ballast Point. You ever had Ballast Point? Apparently that's huge in Florida. Like that's a normal beer in Florida. And
Right.
you pay premium dollar for that up here. Which stinks because it's really good. I'm gonna
That
blow
is
my
weird.
nose. Yeah, isn't that? There's a lot of
I like Yingling and I like Heineken. I like those like lighter kind of
Yeah.
skunkier kind of beers.
Right.
I don't know why.
I'll drink anything. Really.
Yeah.
Any beer. It doesn't really matter. The like fruit beers, sour beers, they get a little weird, but
I can't
Any
do
other
that.
beer.
Like I can't.
You just scrambled back into here.
He has to be in here.
dude, we're chilling. We're
I just don't. I just don't like flavored. Like I wouldn't want Bud Light lime or fucking
No.
like a limerita or some shit.
Right. Yeah. My uncle is like a beer connoisseur, and he still drinks Bud Light Lime,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. Beer's beer." All right.
I mean, I guess
I have standards.
I see the point, but not really.
Right.
I will drink
Like,
a
I-
Bud Light line before I drink a regular Bud Light. I
Mm.
don't know if the microphone's picking me up at all, but
Kind of, yeah.
You'll drink a Bud Light.
Here,
Don't worry.
oh yeah, I mean, I won't say I won't drink a Bud Light, but I prefer liquor.
I just don't. I don't know. I feel like when I drink beer, I don't like. Like I used to just drink a shit ton of them at a time, like have like 8 beers, but now it's like I don't do that, and I feel like light beers are built for just throwing back.
Yes.
Versus like a fucking darker beer where you
Yep.
just once you have 2 of them, you're like, well, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Voodoo Ranger does that. Voodoo Ranger does that.
The Voodoo Ranger's good.
Yeah, what is it? Belgium, New Belgium Brewery. It's like 9.5%.
Yep. I get those all the time.
Yeah, it's a super, super hoppy IPA, but it's really good. Really good.
yeah.
I got the Magic Hat number 9 because I haven't had it in a while. It's a classic.
I mean, it's like the darker beers definitely taste better, but it's a matter of how much you want to drink. Like, it's good with dinner.
You have
like,
to-
if you're gonna
yeah.
have like a Guinness or something, you're drinking it with dinner because if you drink 1 Guinness, you're like immediately full.
Yeah,
Like-
Guinness has protein in it. Like it's got like 3 grams of protein per 12 ounces or something like that.
Yeah.
Guinness is my favorite for sure. I like stouts. I like the creamy. Wes got me into the stouts and
I like the Sam Adams winter lager.
Yeah.
That's
That's good.
really good.
It's not bad.
And then their autumn one is pretty good. What the fuck is that? It's not necessarily. I don't think it's a pumpkin flavor, but it was pretty fucking good. They have like the seasonal one for each.
Yeah,
But they're all pretty good.
I like that I'm starting to like beer now because I like cider, but cider was getting really old.
Right.
It's gotten to the point where all of them taste the same to me now, and beer is going to be getting craft beer stuff like that.
Mhm.
Smaller breweries, you always get a nice. Even if you don't like it, it's still good to try. You buy a beer you don't like it, you're still gonna drink it. It's beer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
Sometimes
just, you're never
they
gonna
try-
buy it a second time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Sometimes they try to get a little too crafty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't really want banana flavor in my beer.
See?
No, you were
The
talking
fruit.
about sour beer. You're not a fan?
No.
No, I'm
No
with you on
fruit.
that. No.
There's a few. Like I had a pear, like the Angry Orchard
It's like if it's
pear. and
Yeah,
like,
if it's like slight, like if there's just a
alright.
hint of it, it's fine.
if I get cider, I really do like just plain apple. But Woodchucks has a cider called Hopsation
Mm.
that's really good. It's like an IPA cider,
Yeah.
and it's really heavy and really, really just, you know what I mean? Exactly.
I don't know. Some people just drink like Mike's Hard or some shit all the time, and it's like I don't know how you do that. Like,
That's my mother.
it's too sugary. Like I don't know.
But it gets you so fucking good. Like I love Smirnoff Ice screwdrivers, the orange one
Mm,
out of a
yeah.
bottle.
Yeah.
It kind of tastes like Sunny D. Reminds me of my childhood.
It's like Tang back in the day. No big deal.
Tang is back. It's better than ever.
With alcohol.
Twisted tea.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
god,
another
Twisted
one.
Tea actually isn't bad.
Really?
I get the half and half though, the one that's like Arnold Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
They actually came out with spiked Arnold Palmer, and it's fucking dangerous. You cannot tell the difference, and it's like 6% or something like that.
Right.
And it comes in it looks like an Arnold Palmer. It's in a fucking can just like that,
That's perfect.
and you cannot tell. It's bad.
Oh my gosh.
Every time I see a place that has them, I buy like 3 or 4 of them, and then I never see them again because people buy them so quick.
I would just sitting home adding vodka to mine. And
That's actually probably way better.
Yeah.
It's probably better for you.
you get to pick the amount of alcohol.
Yeah.
That's all the difference.
Yeah,
I like
so
my
you just
Arnold
max
Palmer
it
to be.
out.
Yeah.
I like my Arnold Palmer to be 100 proof. So
Yeah. Pretty much.
yeah.
I drink whiskey and Monster, but it's pretty much 99% whiskey and then like a drop of Monster, just so I can say it's a mixed drink.
Yeah. It's not whole alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm not an alcoholic.
No. You
There's
guys
Monster.
gotta try an old fashioned next time you go out to the bar.
I've
I've been
never
getting
done.
onto those lately. It's fucking fantastic.
Hmm.
Maker's Mark Old Fashioned. You know what that is, right? It's
Yeah.
just bourbon with fruit in it and a little bit of water
That's
Yeah.
not bad. That's
and
good.
some bitters.
Right. I always do the Long Island iced tea.
Mhm.
That's like the go-to. It's
Yep.
quick and easy.
Whenever Vinny and I go out, that's what we start the night with. Is a Long Island. we'll get to the bar at like 7, order a Long Island, get dinner, and then stay there. Works out pretty well.
There you go.
Long Islands are crazy, man.
Mhm.
And like that's like the girliest drink. Not the girliest drink. That's like the sweetest.
It's on that side of the.
It's on that side of the spectrum, but nobody will say shit about you getting one. But if you order a Cosmopolitan or an Appletini, like JD from Scrubs,
Yeah.
You should order what makes you comfortable.
exactly.
What you like.
Real men drink what they want to drink.
Yeah.
Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly.
Unless you're getting Chardonnay or some shit. That's
What's
different.
wrong with that?
I do that all the time.
A little bit of
Chardonnay is my favorite fucking wine, dude. It's so good. Chardonnay goes great with that. It's the gin and tonic of wines, man. You can have a Chardonnay for breakfast, for dinner, for lunch.
I feel like I
Brunch.
get more drunk off of less liquor when I just drink it straight.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Because, like, if I just pack it into a mixed drink, I don't feel like I get the effect as much for some reason. It's fucking weird. But I drink more of it.
That's a Long Island effect.
You gotta
I'll drink
just-
like 8 because they
you gotta
don't
just-
taste like anything.
Right.
And then you stand up.
Yep. That's why I don't
well,
stand.
you're not supposed to stand, yeah.
I stay
You just-
seated.
You just rent the stool.
You
for
just
the
rent
day.
a wheelchair. One of
I
them
think that's the
automatic
key.
wheelchairs.
Is that if you're in a wheelchair, you'll never feel drunk.
Right. Yeah, you can drink as much as you want.
Yeah,
Those
and
dudes
then
are
you're fine.
fucking monsters.
That's why they don't want people drinking and driving, because that's beating the system, because you're not standing.
Mm. Now
I'm
you
not a drunk officer. I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am perfectly stable.
is operating a wheelchair under the influence. It's
No.
got to be legal, right?
Yeah.
because
It's odd because
Golf carts.
well, if
all
you're in a
good.
wheelchair and you're slurring and stuff, it's not like they're going to try and arrest you, because like
You're
they
in
don't-
a
they don't-
wheelchair.
They don't know if
Yeah,
that's
that's
why you're in the wheelchair. Like, they don't know if you're like that all the
That's true.
time. How's it going, officer? You know, how much have you drank today? Sir, no, I'm not even gonna.
That's so terrible. But it's true. They won't say anything.
That's the
Right.
key. That's
That's the
the
key.
ticket. Right in the pocket, bud. 0.08.
It's not making fun of them. It's giving them the opportunity to enjoy the luxury.
yeah,
If I were in a wheelchair, I'd drink all day. Probably
Yeah.
from depression.
Yeah. What would you want to be in a wheelchair for? If you had to be in a wheelchair, what would you want the reason to be?
A continuous colostomy bag. I don't want to stand up and have that. I want to sit. in a
Oh
wheelchair.
yeah.
I guess it would have
want
to
a
be like
super bag.
something that's not that debilitating, like a hemorrhoid or some shit. You know what I mean?
I have super hemorrhoids.
yeah, like it's like you can still kind of do things, but
Wouldn't you want to stand with hemorrhoids?
I mean, probably. Yeah,
So
but
you
it's
have
gotta
a
have
segue.
like yeah, but it's gonna have like a ring. You know what I mean? It's gonna have a ring on the seat so that you're not really touching the bottom of the seat, but you're like hovering a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like one of those hover seats.
No, it's like a hammock. It's not even a seat. It's just a net.
Yeah, exactly. You're not putting any pressure on
Bungee
it, but you're
cords.
still. Dude, I saw this. I saw this fucking game today, called Spike Ball on Reddit, and it's kind of like volleyball, but there's like a little trampoline kind of thing in the middle. So it's like it's 2v2, but there's a trampoline, and you serve it off the trampoline, and it comes up, and you can only hit it. Each team can only hit the ball 3 times before they have to hit the trampoline again and switch. It changes possession when it hits the trampoline. So like it's kind of like cat's pajamas, but with like
Is it a video game or a sport?
it's like a little fucking like beach game.
It's kind of like Nitro Ball.
Yeah, it's fucking sweet. I actually kind of want to get it. It's like $20.
That's a game that never caught on. Was Nitro Ball. Did they have that in high school when you played?
No.
In high school?
No.
Or went to high school?
No.
Did you play that in high school or no?
I don't
It was
know.
basically racquetball, but with a volleyball. You played on a tennis court. You used a volleyball. Or no, it wouldn't be racquetball. It'd be tennis, but with a volleyball.
It would be
2 person, 1
Yeah.
person, back and forth.
And you couldn't go on the other half. So if we
Oh.
were on a team, we had to split it vertically. So I'd be on this half, you'd be on the other one, and each person has to hit it.
This is complicated.
Why
It's
wouldn't
fucking
you
weird,
just
dude.
play
It was really
tennis?
fucking weird.
Just play tennis.
just
Where's
fucking
the
play-
rackets?
That's a game that I think more people should play is tennis, but I think I'm extremely biased.
Because you play tennis?
Well, I feel like the skill level of some of
Varsity
these guys.
athlete, dude.
That's in high school once.
Yeah. I went
feel-
to college for this.
Okay.
I went to college for this.
There's a pretty high skill level, though.
You don't know who I am, but I know where you live. Serve the ball.
Holy shit.
I don't know why that got so distorted. That was really fucked
Probably
up.
because you were fucking directly on the microphone like that.
No, there's certainly a tough like
There's a
grade
fucking
to get
skill
in.
gap. Yeah,
In
like
tennis?
yeah.
Everyone played tennis in high school, and then all of a sudden to get to professional, there's
Like-
a big.
Yeah, like top level right now is insane. Like
Yeah.
what they're
Dude,
doing.
they're serving like over 120 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't even process that. And it's like...
I mean, you kind of can.
You can't, no, but I mean, like,
If you're
it's
like,
faster than the
if
brain
you're
can
watching,
process.
if you're
I just-
already seeing fucking 101 mile an hour fastballs, you're kind of gonna be close to processing that
a good
already
point.
as a baseball player.
But I guess because I did tennis all 4 years of high school, and then when I went to college at OCC, you had to do a phys ed class. You had to play a sport for a class, which was the weirdest fucking thing I've ever heard of. So naturally, I picked tennis, and
yeah, obviously.
I wasn't that great. I was decent. I wasn't that great, but it was funny watching people play for the first time because a lot of people aren't used to using rackets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Same with baseball. It's like you have to use it as an extension of yourself. And it was funny trying to get people to
Well, there's a technique to all of it. Like, there's a
Yeah.
way to swing
top
everything.
spin,
Really.
back spin, lobbing it.
See, I never understood the top spin thing. You have to go upwards.
No, that's back spin.
To get it spinning the other
top
way.
spin, you curve over, and that way it spins. And then if you do it right, there's no stopping it. It'll hit the court and just fling. Backspin is
So you
fun.
have to rotate your wrist when you hit it. Then
Mhm. Backspin is fun because if you go the other way and then you hit it and then
and
it'll
it
bounce
stops
towards you.
Kinda, yeah,
Or
it kind
it'll
of comes
stop,
back the
yeah.
other way.
There was a kid, Austin DeMott, one of the best players I've ever seen. Used to have this go-to, like if he would get in a rally with somebody, he'd get up to the net and they'd hit it, and he had this way where he would just like flick his wrist, like I'm trying to see if I can. It's like, say this is the racket here. He would go like this and just spin like that wicked quick, and the ball would just go up like a foot, hit the ground, and just immediately die right there. There's nothing you could do.
Huh.
There's a lot of weird technique to it you don't think about. A lot of people, when they first start, like I did it, you just fucking wail on it, dude. And it
Yeah,
goes
you just try and get it
500.
past it. And then it never lands inbounds. It just hits the fence on
Like
the other side.
there's a kid we played with. His name was Nick, and he couldn't hit the hardest, and he wasn't the fastest, but he controlled the pace of the game. And he would piss so many people off because he would just lob it the whole time.
Yeah.
And he would just slow the game down, and he would always be in the right position.
Well, I mean, that's a good move, though. Slow it down and then
Oh, yeah.
rape somebody.
Slow it down.
Figuratively.
Yeah,
You
it was
slow
fun,
it down
dude.
and
I think
then-
that's what I missed from high school the most was organized sports. Doing tennis and taekwondo.
Yeah,
being
they're
in
pretty.
clubs.
They're pretty disorganized once you get older.
Yeah.
So join softball.
Right.
I've thought about it.
You
Mine and
could.
Sean's friend Dalton is in a softball league. But I don't think I'm enough of a dad yet to do that.
I
You
already
have to
did
be
it.
a dad.
I've already played for 2 or 3 years.
Do you
See,
play softball?
I did.
that's all you gotta do. Get into it. You don't have to be a dad. You don't have to father children.
Right.
Just
I
be
thought that
you.
was the rule.
I don't think they check. I mean, you can tell them you do, but they're not going to look into it.
It's like you got kids. I got 6.
I don't believe
Shit,
you.
dude,
I don't
you're
believe you.
fat.
You're at like
Let me
pitcher
see their
level.
Let me see their birth certificates. I don't buy it.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I was on the orange team.
They color code it. Like,
That's basically what it was. Yeah.
Was it by like hair color?
No, it was just the orange team.
Oh.
you had to go
Yeah,
there.
that seems like it would be overpowered. Like I feel like
If you
everybody
had-
would be on the brown
You
or
had all the
black
guys. It
teams.
was like red, orange, and it was like you and 3 other people.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like we'd be outnumbered.
the
for one
brunette
thing.
team was like 300 guys.
Ghost Man number 7 on second. For the red team. Orange?
Yeah, how
I
come
don't
they
know.
don't? They don't do.
Yeah, you'd have to have somebody from the other team pinch run for it.
Yeah. No, they just got to do Ghost Man, dude. I don't know why they don't do Ghost Man in the fucking major leagues.
Yeah.
I remember Ghost
It's way
Man.
easier.
That was so weird. It's like the Wii, dude.
if they put a price cap on how much a team could spend,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Have like 3-4
Then you'd only need
ultimate
like
players.
fucking like a guy to
You
bat.
could have like Bryce
like
Harper.
one designated
you
hitter.
could have Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, Giancarlo Stanton, and Aaron Judge pay $1 billion, and then just have 21 ghost
on
men.
second. You got
And then
always,
the pitcher is just a pitching machine.
you got a ghost man in scoring position. I have no idea how you could calculate like tagging up on like a sacrifice fly or something.
They roll a d20.
It's a
Let it slide, man.
They have to roll dice to figure out if they advance.
they have a mime there instead of a third base coach.
There's no one on third anyways.
Yeah.
Third, the mime for third base is stuck in the box again.
the invisible box.
Well, I don't know who's on third, right?
Who's on first?
Yeah, who's on first? What's on second?
I don't know. Is on third. Who's the pitcher tomorrow? Who's catching?
I played that for a bunch of my students in a heavy equipment program. They did not get the joke.
How? It's fucking great.
They didn't even know who did the joke. When I brought it up on YouTube,
I
Have you
think
seen
someone
the-
showed us that in school when I was
Yep.
fucking younger.
Primrose showed that to me.
because every teacher shows that as
Really?
like an icebreaker.
Yeah.
It's in the handbook. When you go into the education field, here's how you bullshit the first
Here's
month
Abbott
and a
and
half.
Costello on Blu-ray.
Yep, exactly.
Have you ever seen the video of the two Australian dudes talking about the ship where the front fell off?
No.
Oh my god, we gotta show them that. That's fucking hilarious.
What is it?
Where they're talking about the ship, the front fell off. I showed it to
have
you
no
like
idea
a
what you're
couple
talking
weeks
about.
ago.
I don't think you did.
Oh, totally did. You were like, "What the fuck is this? I don't get it." And I was like, "No, the front fell off."
It's way easy, no. It's way smart one, dude.
What are you talking? I really don't know what you're talking
It was those two old dudes in a black room. They were talking about a cruise ship and how the ship sank because the front fell off. And they're like, "Is this ship really safe?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, how come that ship isn't safe anymore? Why aren't you using it?" He goes, "Oh, because the front fell off."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, what makes it so unsafe about that?" And he goes, "Well, normally the front doesn't fall off." it's just so fucking stupid. It's so funny.
That's a simple answer.
It's so good.
A simple question. What's
so
wrong
good.
with the boat? The front of the boat fell off.
The front fell off.
It's done. There's nothing left.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. This here. Here, pause it. I'll turn up the TV though.
Well, there are a lot of these ships going around the world all the time, and very seldom does anything like this happen. I just don't want people thinking that tankers aren't safe. Is this tanker safe? Well, I was thinking more about the other one. The ones that safe? Yeah, the ones that front doesn't fall off.
This is the whole video. He does this shit.
It's not quite as safe as some of the other ones. Well, some of them are built so the front
Why?
doesn't fall off at all. Wasn't it built so the front wouldn't fall off? Well, obviously not. Well, there's the front fell off. Trade-offs built into the sea caught fire. It's a bit of a giveaway, but the point that is not normal. Well, what sort of standards are these oil tankers built to? Oh, very rigorous maritime engineering standards. What sort of standards? Well, the front's not supposed to fall off for a start. Well, there are regulations governing the materials that they can be made of. What materials? Or cardboard now.
All right, I'm going to put the link in the description, and then we'll call this one.
Cobblers out of the discussion.
Clear Shots is available on any of your favorite podcast platforms. ClearShotsPodcast.com is the best place to find all of our social media links. You can find us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at ClearShotsPod. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.